Detroit here with Idris Elba. August 27th, go see Takers, y'all.
Takers.
Your character, Gordon, is a very dapper young man. I'm sure a lot of ladies want to know, what type of man is Idris? Are you a suit and tie type of guy or jeans and t-shirts?
I'm both, you know what I mean? I love jeans and t-shirts, shorts. I'm always in shorts and flip-flops, believe it or not. You know what I mean? But then, you know, come winter time, I like a young sweater.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Throw my scarf on under my jeans.
You know, now you're getting some work under your feet. Do you have to fish for roles, or you know, now roles are just coming to you?
No, there's always fishing. You know, like even very established actors. You know, especially if you care about your audience or perhaps your body of work, it is always important to try and fish those works out. You know, some directors, you know, they have a certain set of film actors that they like. Okay, Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, for example. Now, if there was this film that Martin Scorsese was doing and I wanted to be considered for that lead role, I'd have to fish. Doesn't matter how well I am or good I am or famous I am, there's still that fishing going on.
So with the script for this film, when talking about fishing, was this something that you were looking for, or someone just called you up and said, hey, we have a part for you?
No, I mean, I have a sort of an ideology that, you know, I do one for them, and that's the masses, and one for me. So a film like Legacy is a film for myself, and a film like Takers is a film for the masses. So I was looking for, at the time, a film for the masses. You know, Obsessed was one for the masses again. You know.
Well, your American film career has been fairly brief, and you played everything from a detective in Prom Night to the infamous Stringer Bell in The Wire. What would be your dream role?
There's no such thing, you know what I mean? I think if I have to say that, I say Legacy was my dream role, but that means I could give up acting. But there are roles that I want to try and do. You know, I'm interested in bringing some historic characters, some African historic characters to life that have sort of been brushed over in history.
You also work with a lot of musicians who's made the transition to acting as well. I know you are a musician. Like, are you planning on bringing your music to the States anytime soon?
Well, yeah, you know, I have an EP that I put out. You know, I don't make music for money, but so I really,
So you gonna give me a copy of your
advertising? Yeah. So everybody say it. Somebody say that.
Takers, yeah.
Well, okay, so High Class Problems is my first, you know, mixed EP. 6 tracks. It's on Amazon. You can get it. You know, and you know, it's some of my music. This film, you know, I'm putting a mixtape together, and on this mixtape is going to have some of my music. It's going to have some of, you know, the superstars that are in this film. But also, I'm going to have. I gave an opportunity to my people on Twitter, at Idris Elba on Twitter, and you know, submit your music. And you know, if it's good enough, I'll put it on a mixtape. You know, I've got a small slot, but I'm doing that.
So how much input did you have in making the soundtrack?
None. None whatsoever. You know, it is in my contract that I can have meaningful discussion about soundtracks. But in this case, you know, Tip and Chris are executive producers in it, so you know, I left the music business to them because that's what they do.
What was like the give and take between this dynamic set of actors on, you know, on set? Some kind of like the Chris Browns and the T.I.s are just kind of getting their feet wet, and then some of you, and you having off-Broadway experience or theater experience and all of that, and just how was the give and take, the sharing and the building that camaraderie on set?
I mean, a lot of it is by design. In other words, the script. You know, so you know, Chris played a character that was perhaps a little nervous, a little fun-loving, just like Chris. You know, Ghost played a character that, you know, was like full of confidence, full of charisma, but you're not sure if you can trust him or not. Not to say T.I. was like that, but in other words, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, you know, you know, the script laid the foundation for all we had to do is step into those positions, and then you know, everything came together naturally. I would say, you know, with you know, Tip and Chris, who are less, you know, experienced, we spent time just focusing on what was real, what the point was, what the objectives was of the scenes. I certainly did that with Ghost quite a bit. Chris and I have made a film before, so you know, it wasn't. You know, they're very talented people, and you know, it all comes from the same source of creativity.
I would definitely have to say the cast of Takers is one of the most exceptionally looking cast ever. What does it feel like being a sex symbol, is it?
I don't know. I don't know how to explain, you know, answer that question. I get asked that question, like, you're a beautiful woman. What does it feel like to be beautiful?
Well, I'm not on big screens everywhere. So
well, see, you know, I mean, You know, I'm not always sexy in every film I do. You know, and not everybody finds you sexy. So sometimes it's hard to, really answer that question.
How many opportunities do you? Well, in this film, you're able to maintain your
English accent.
Is this something like when it comes to switching it over from an English accent or German, or I don't know if you do other dialects, but how difficult is that, and how would you like to have more films where you can just be you?
I mean, I don't rely on an accent to act. That's number one rule. You know what I mean? If I'm using my accent to act, I'm not acting. And so what happens is that wherever the character is that I've immersed myself in, the dialogue, the cadence, all of that stuff comes with the performance. Do you know what I mean? If I'm playing an American character, I ain't thinking about my accent. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about the flaws, because there will be some flaws, because again, it's not my natural tongue. But what I do is spend time just building the character. So the more I know my man, the better my accent's gonna be. You know what I mean? The better, the more authentic it's gonna be, the more real. Even us, when you pick up the phone, all right, whose mama does this? She'll be like, and I said to you, hello? Oh yeah, I was just talking to my, you change your own accent even within your own, so, with me it's not so much about the accent, but the character.
Well, most of your characters have a very convincing American accent. How long did it take you to master that? Because I swore you were from Baltimore.
It's debatable whether I've mastered it or not, because it's an ongoing process. There were some accents I haven't mastered, and I know that it'd be tough for me to do it, but I will definitely try. I lived in, before I got to The Wire, I was living in New York and New Jersey for about 4 years. And literally every day was a lesson for me. I used to take the bus just so I could just see if I could fool the driver. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. And then the guys in the barbershop, that was the biggest test. I had to go to the barbershop. They'd be like, yo man, where you been? I'd be like, oh man, yeah man, then I did this. And then every now and again, so I go, hey man, where you from? Well, I'm from London actually. That was the test, the barbershop, the real life thing. So it wasn't so much a lesson, I'm always, learning, I soak the culture up. I'm going to take something from everyone in this room by the time we leave, because that's just my gift, I think.
Do you plan on making a Takers 2? A sequel?
There's a distinct possibility of that, but it really depends if everybody goes to see the movie on August 27th.
Okay.
And if we support it and not buy the bootlegs and tell word of mouth. The reason why Tyler Perry movies do so well, except for the fact that those are stories that people want to see, is that people go and see them on opening day. They go and support it. And those big numbers, it's a fickle business. So when they see the numbers coming in, Obsessed did amazingly well for box office for a film like that. And, there's cries for it to do another Obsessed or something like that.
Well, out of all of your co-stars, is there anything that's memorable about them that kind of sticks out in your mind as you were making the film?
Chris Brown and I snapped on each other the whole time. The whole time. He always had something to say about me, and my London accent, because he's been to London all the time, so he's always doing that. And I would have to say some stuff about Chris, the fact that his middle name is Maurice, the fact that he's still a little boy in big man clothes, we would get at each other a little bit.
For children or youth that are interested in acting, what tips would you give them?
Well, you can act any time of your life. First thing you have to do is get some life experience. Go to school. Even if you choose to be an actor, now, go to school. Go through life experience, because you can't act about things you don't know about. No script is going to be that good. It's going to be able to tell you how to do something that you may not even experienced in your own life. So that's a big pointer. And then do your knowledge, do your research.
What's the one thing that you ideally want people to take away from this film when the credits come up and we're throwing popcorn boxes out the way?
I want them to say at the end of this film, oh man, I wonder what happens next. I wonder if I could see some more. I want to see what happened before they got there. And that's what I want. I want people to get so engaged in it, like, oh, I want to see that again. Ocean's 11, 12, and whatever, 13, that's the feeling you left at the end of it. They were successful, they came back.